Well, skirts are getting shorter, tops are getting tighter, and the girls wearing them are getting younger and younger. Take a look.
Clothing for young girls isn't leaving much to the imagination, and retailers are marketing padded bikini tops and sexy underwear to 7 to 10-year-olds. In an age where modesty seems to be forgotten, many parents are struggling to keep their little girls from growing up too fast. Rachel Lee Carter has been a professional model for 25 years. In Fashioned by Faith, Rachel suggests how your kids can wear the latest trends without looking seductive.
Please welcome to the 700 Club, Rachel Lee Carter. It's good to have you here.
It's great to be here. Thank you, Terry.
You've written this book, Fashioned by Faith. You come out of the whole fashion industry, which is an amazing industry. I mean, there are plenty of shows that have been on TV recently sort of letting us look into that whole picture. You say that when you invited Jesus into your life, you invited him into your closet. What do you mean by that?
Well, I was saved in the industry. I was living in New York City. I was 19 years old, and I was on a job with some girls. And, you know, I had grown up in church. I knew the plan of salvation, and I had even prayed a prayer at one time when I was younger. But, you know, based on my actions and the direction that my life was going, there was no evidence of Christ in my life.
So what happened at 19 that made you decide you wanted to make this commitment?
Well, I met these girls on a job, and they began sharing Christ with me, and it became real to me. So I got real honest with the Lord, and on my apartment in New York, I just got on my face on the floor, and I asked Christ to come into my heart, and things changed.
I am sure they did, because I have a daughter that's been interested in modeling. I've done everything in the world I could to discourage her from doing it.
I don't blame you.
Because I think it's an industry that calls you to compromise in so many ways. Tell me about how that happened for you and how being a Christian made a difference for you.
Well, I certainly was faced with options of compromising, and I didn't want to go there because of my faith, and it was a struggle at times because I was faced with situations where I had to walk off of a set or walk out on situations that were very uncomfortable for me, for my agent, but, you know, Christ reigns supreme in me, and I had to make a decision that would reflect him, not just my agency or my career.
Did you worry about it? I was reading about all of those instances in your life, and you know, I just think as young girls, it's so hard when you've got a manager who's getting paid off of your salary, you've got an agent who's getting paid off of your salary, you're living off of your salary. When you walk, you lose the job.
Oh, yes, and lots of things can come from that. I mean, you could lose the campaign. You could lose, you know, credibility, your reputation. Your agency could drop you. Lots of things have happened, and some of those things did happen.
Yes. And so what went through your mind, especially I'm thinking of the time that they brought a blouse into you that you said, where's the part that goes underneath this?
Yes.
And you had a lot of pressure put on you by people to put that on without anything underneath it, and to walk out there and be photographed. Tell me what went through your mind before you decided to say goodbye.
Well, you know, the devil certainly was whispering in my ear, it was in Greece, nobody's going to see it, nobody that knows you will ever see this, but I just couldn't do it. And so I came out with something on underneath the blouse that was see-through, and she said, no, we want you to wear it with nothing underneath. And I said, well, you can see me underneath. And she said, well, no, that's okay. So I went back and took the blouse off and came out, and she said, why aren't you wearing it? And I said, you wear it. And I handed it to her, and they said, just let her put on something underneath. So
now, another issue for young women who are in the fashion industry is weight. I mean, everybody knows it. It's talked about, that whole anorexic look. How did you move through that whole maze?
Well, I'm a woman, so I'm going to put on weight. And, you know, just because I didn't go to college when I was 18, I still put on that freshman 15 when I was living in New York at 18.
They just call it that. It has nothing to do with college. Right?
And, you know, when it happened, it devastated me. But I really had to learn to find my identity in Christ during that time, because there was a lot of pressure on me in trying to get skinnier and skinnier and skinnier. And I was with an agency that basically put it to me that by any means necessary. So unfortunately, I turned to bulimia. Fortunately, that didn't work, and I ended up on my face and asked God to please help me and forgive me, and he rescued me from it.
Incredible pressure. The industry that manufactures clothes is also very involved in all of this. I mean, we're talking about push-up bras being manufactured for 7-year-old girls. What is that about?
It's sickening, and it's early sexualization of girls. And, you know, it starts with things like that, but some of those things might seem very, like, I can't believe they would do that. But, you know, mothers began to start accepting other things that, you know, 10 years ago would have been like, oh, gasp, I can't believe they're doing that. But now it's in our faces so much that we just kind of start saying, well, that's just the trend. It doesn't have to be the trend. You can still protect your daughters.
How can girls express themselves fashionably without being exposed when there is so much out there that's made to expose?
Well, I love clothes, and I always call myself the proverbial clothes horse. So I think that you can love fashion and still be able to be modest and trendy. And one of the ways you can do that is accessorizing. I mean, from hats to shoes and belts, and it's limitless what you can do to accessorize. The second thing is layering. Layering is so in, but by doing that, you can cover yourself and still be cute.
We have invited 4 middle school young women to join us today, and you've helped put together some things for them. Let's take a look at who's with us and what they're going to be wearing.
Okay. Well, first up is Sky, and Sky is showing off a sophisticated short set. What's great about these shorts is that they're tapered to her legs, but they're not too tight, and they're also fingertip length. The great thing about fingertip length is that it keeps her covered while she's sitting, while she's standing, sitting Indian style, whatever. And this outfit can be dressed up as she's wearing it now or dressed down for a more casual look.
And when shorts are longer like that, women are almost wearing those, and young girls, as we would have worn slacks or you know, some kind of longer
So it can
pant.
be very sophisticated. And also, anytime you wear something that's tapered, not too tight, but it's tapered to your leg, it also makes you look thinner, which all women love.
You look great, Sky.
Thank you. All right, next up is Morgan. And Morgan is showing us a more casual short, but the way she accessorizes them makes them a little bohemian. They're also fingertip length. The scarf and candy colors keep it fresh and modern while still being modest. And she's also layering tank tops here that adds a pop of color, but it's also adding coverage. I'd like to add that these styles are being shown on younger teens, but modesty, of course, as we know, spans the generations.
And I love the color with the scarf. Scarves are so big right now, aren't they?
They are, and you don't have to wear a scarf
accessory.
just in the winter. You can wear them even in the summer if it's a gauzy fabric. All right, next is Savannah. Savannah is giving us a lesson on the true skinny jean. Skinny jeans should be tapered to the leg, but not that painted on look. She should be able to pinch them. They're not to be confused with denim leggings, or jeggings as they call them. These on Savannah are pretty, they're modern, skinny, and still fashionable. And simple accessories take it over the top. You look beautiful, Savannah. Thank you. And lastly, we have Danny. Danny's wearing a cute spring dress, perfect for church, a wedding, or any dressed-up occasion. Since the top of the dress is thin spaghetti straps, she stays cute and covered by wearing a matching shrug. But she keeps it summery and fun with black jeweled flip-flops. Very nice, Danny. Thank you. And for other information about Modeling Modesty or the book or the ministry Modeling Christ, you can go to the website, which is www.modelingchrist.com.
That is awesome. Ladies, thank you so much. They all looked great.
They did. They looked cute.
They really did.
Very cute.
You know, you talk a lot in your book also about the whole showing of bra straps, and you've got answers for those things. I think sometimes young girls wear what they wear because they don't realize there are options to them. And one person who's cool does it, so everybody follows it, when in fact there's a better way to do things. And what were you, when you wrote this book, what did you want young girls, women who read it, to come away with?
Well, I think that a lot of girls approach modesty with an unsure way. When you say modesty, you don't know what comes to mind because it's such a vague word. Does that mean a burqa? What does that mean?
Well, it means different things to different people.
Yeah, or a petticoat. They don't know what it means. So, you know, I wanted to be able to show that you can be fashionable and trendy with your styles and be able to express your individuality while still being covered and maintaining your integrity.
Rachel, what would you say is the biggest mistake that women make in how they dress?
I think they don't consider other people, because when we dress, a lot of times I think we dress for what's in the mirror, that we like it, and so we wear it, and so be it.
And what's right for you might not be right for me. So also there has to be somewhere in there knowing who you are and understanding what's best for you.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, it's all in here. It's called Fashion by Faith, and it's available wherever books are sold. We thank you for being with us and for helping us as moms set standards for our young girls. We also want to thank Dillard's Department Store for providing the fun clothes that our models have worn today. And we thank all of our models. If you'd like to see more of these fashions, we do have a web-exclusive interview on cbn.com. You can just log on to that site and click the In the Green Room button for the making of the fashion show. So thank you, Rachel. We appreciate your being with us. Rachel Lee Carter. The book is Fashion by Faith. We'll be right back after this.